Hey everybody, I'm Sarah and welcome to Mile High Church. Thank you for spending a portion of your weekend with us, especially if you're new. Our vision, oneness revealed, a world of love, peace, and abundance for all. Our mission, to serve as a spiritual beacon for personal empowerment and global enlightenment. Before we get started today, we want to give you a look at a few things coming up at Mile High Church for you and your family. Our Essential Ernest Holmes class with Jackie Harris starts tomorrow. You will gain a deeper understanding of the ways you participate in life's creative process to bring your thoughts to reality. Hasta mañana, baby. And the Mile High Choir sings the national anthem once again at the Rockies game on June 15th. Our block of seats will be released this Wednesday, so be sure to buy your tickets today so you can spend time with your church friends.
How can we live the good life? A life enlivened by joy and community and meaning that brings a sense of worth and belonging. The answer? Find awe. This fall, we're excited to welcome Dacher Keltner. He will be here to talk about his latest book, Awe, the new science of everyday wonder and how it can transform your life. Purchase tickets today at the Event Center and take advantage of the early bird pricing.
For more information about anything you've heard today, visit the Event Center or connect with us online at milehighchurch.org.
All right, we've got a short song for you. We're singing about love today. You ready to sing with me? All right, here we go. I start my day with love. When I start my day with love, that's what I get more of, is love. I start my day with love. When I start my day with love, that's what I get more of, is love. This one's easy. Love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. I start my day with love. When I start my day with love, that's what I get more of, is love. I start my day with love. When I start my day with love, that's what I get more of, is love. Here we go. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love.
Thank you, Tom. Great way to start the day and great way to start our service with love, love, love. Good morning, Mile High Church. Welcome, welcome. So glad to see you all here. A lot of wonderful people here in this room and a lot of wonderful people watching us online. Welcome, welcome. We're so glad to have you here. You might not be aware that this community is part of a larger community called the Centers for Spiritual Living. And our Centers for Spiritual Living communities exist all over the planet. And that's part of why many people watch us online from all over the planet, because we have centers all over the place and we do lots of good work to support and uplift people. And tonight we are graduating practitioners of religious science who are going to be serving here in our community. 5 new practitioners will be graduating, as well as we are graduating 5 new ministers tonight who will be going out into the world. So congratulations to our graduates. I'll be acknowledging them later, but I also want you to know that I have a special friend and colleague here today from the East Coast, and I want to introduce Reverend Dr. Sunday Cote is here. Hi, Sunday, welcome. She's here for the graduation. She's got lots of connections to graduates here today. Oh, there's one of them right there. Hi, Charlie. And so I haven't gotten to see them all, and I look forward to seeing them and hugging them. And that's the joyous part of community. And you heard our beautiful vision and mission in our announcements. How about we say it together today? The word, powerful word, spoken word is powerful. So please say it with me. Our vision, oneness revealed, a world of love, peace, and abundance for all. and our mission to serve as a spiritual beacon for personal empowerment and global enlightenment. What a joy it is to know this, be this, and express this together. And we're going to head now into some spiritual practice. So we invite you to sit back, relax. We're going to sing, we're going to experience some silence, and we're going to pray together. Let's begin.
Surely the presence of God is in this place. I can feel the mighty power and the grace. I can hear the brush of angel wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of God is in this place. Surely the presence of God is in this place. I can feel the mighty power and the grace. I can hear the brush of angel wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of God is in this place.
How wonderful it is to just take that moment of stillness and silence and quiet, to come together in prayer, to remember the truth of who we are, to be reminded that there is a powerful, amazing presence always available to us. And I'm reminded of that presence. I can hear it as the songbirds greet the day. I can feel it in the breeze of a beautiful spring morning. And I can see the hand of God everywhere I look in this beautiful planet, in this glorious Colorado Rocky Mountains. And so we just take this moment this morning to remember that there is this creative intelligence, Spirit, God, divine energy that moves in, through, and around us in every moment. It animates us, it enlivens us. And we recognize that we, each one of us, are these amazing, beautiful, unique emanations of Spirit. And it's in that realization that we also recognize that we belong. We belong here at Mile High Church. We belong together in community. We belong to this planet. And we belong to each other. And it's from this inner place that we can tap into all the kindness, the compassion, the peace, and the healing that is available to us and always flowing to us in every moment. And so this morning I am so grateful Grateful for this beautiful community of Mile High Church. Grateful for all the hands and hearts that come together to create it, to uplift us, to enliven us, to enable us to thrive. And so it's with great thanksgiving that I just simply release these words and this prayer into that amazing alchemy of love and law, absolutely knowing that all is well because all is God, and so it is.
Om Tare Ture Swaha. Om Tare Tare. With your strength, with your peace, in your loving grace, I release. With my faith and my belief, heal me, heal me, heal me, heal me. With your strength, with your peace, in your loving grace, I release. With my faith and my belief, heal me, heal me, heal me, heal me. All that I am, all that I hope I will be, all I become, all that lives within me, all there is, all that ever will be, all the love, 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 all the love.
Hello, Mile High. Today is the day that we get to honor all of our high school graduates, but in particular, the ones who are receiving scholarships from our Mile High Scholarship Program today. And I am so proud that we changed our scholarship program a few years ago to really support graduates in moving in the direction of their dreams. So that might include some further education of any kind. That might include an entrepreneurial venture. It might include a particular experience that is key to them moving forward. So that being said, I want to introduce you to our graduates here. We're giving away 3 different kinds of scholarships today. And the first one is the H. Fred Vogt Scholarship. This is a scholarship that's named for our Mile High Church Minister Emeritus in Memoria. And this scholarship is given to individuals who have really shown up in our community and shared their gifts and their participation. And the people receiving that scholarship today are Carrie Agnes, Bella Justice Eck, and Gray Fight. The second scholarship that we're awarding today is from Sacred Sisters, which is our Mile High Women's Empowerment Group. And they give this scholarship to female graduates who have really deepened their spirituality and been thoughtful and active to understanding all kinds of different spiritual principles. And the person receiving that scholarship today is Jillian Ray. So I want to give them a chance to tell you where they're headed and something that they're taking away from their time here at Mile High.
Hello, I'm Carrie Agnes, and next year I'll be attending Colorado State University for Interior Architecture and Design. I will be taking many lessons from Mile High into my future. I have grown up here and I have learned how important it is to be anchored in principles such as love, acceptance, and abundance. This community is filled with strong women leaders who taught me that I can be a leader, especially in the male-dominated field of architecture.
I'm Bella Justisek. I will also be attending Colorado State University in the fall for economics. The main thing that I'll take away from my few years here at Mile High is what I refer to as spiritual optimism, or just the idea that you just need to have faith that the world will take us where we need to be, and all we can do is show up and do our best and have faith that things will be okay.
Hi, my name is Gray Fight, and I will be attending Northeastern Junior College in Sterling. I'm studying criminal justice. My main takeaway from Mile High is how important community is. This has been such an outstanding community in my life, my entire life, from Rainbow Day Camp, attending, to becoming a counselor. It's just so important to me, this community.
My name is Jillian Ray, and I will be attending St. Olaf College in Minnesota, and I will play in the orchestra, study abroad, and study Spanish in either math or physics. And so I have been attending Mile High Church since I was around 2 years old, so a long time. And what's really stood out to me is the entire community, so supportive, so loving. And this carried through to my first experience of the teen camp up in Oregon a couple of years ago. And there was this empowerment night where everyone was invited to come, step up in front of the group, and share their thoughts on a subject. And that was the first time, with all the support of the people, that I truly felt called to speak in front of such a large group. And my younger self would have never had the courage to do such a thing. And since that moment, I felt empowered to change things going into high school. So, for example, I stepped away from my current friend group who wasn't serving me in the way I thought they wanted to. I joined several sports. I even read affirmations each night describing the type of friends I wanted to bring into my life. And none of that would have been possible without the Mile High community. So my takeaway is just taking actions to achieve personal growth and self-confidence will never and can never take away from the personal growth of everyone around you.
All right, and we have a third scholarship that we're giving today. Tom, would you like to talk about that?
For sure, it's my pleasure to introduce Evan Wendt. Evan has been playing guitar with us since he was in elementary school, I think. And Evan is always ready to jump in, and he is an extremely professional guitar player already. But I love it that we're going to be able to support him to continue his musical studies. Where are you going to be going?
I'm going to Musicians Institute out in Los Angeles, California.
Awesome. All right, so yeah, we're happy to give you the music ministry scholarship that has been funded by the Kinsfather family for many years, and so we thank them for their gift, and we're so happy to give it to you, Evan. So let's have one more big round of applause for all the graduates. All right. So here are some values that I hope we've been able to pass on. Know there's a light that glows by the front door. Don't forget the keys under the mat. When childhood stars shine, always stay humble and kind. Go to church 'cause your mama says to. Visit grandpa every chance that you can. It won't be wasted time. Always stay humble and kind. Hold the door, say please, say thank you. Don't steal and don't cheat and don't lie. I know you've got mountains to climb, but always stay humble and kind. When the dreams you're dreaming come to you, when the work you put in is realized, let yourself feel the pride, but always stay humble and kind. Don't expect a free ride from no one. Don't hold a grudge or a chip, and here is why. Bitterness keeps you from flying. Always stay humble and kind. Know the difference between sleeping with someone and sleeping with someone you love. I love you ain't no pickup line. Always stay humble and kind. Hold the door, say please, say thank you. Don't steal and don't cheat and don't lie. I know you've got mountains to climb, but always stay humble and kind. When the dreams you're dreaming come to you, when the work you put in is realized, let yourself feel the pride, but always stay humble and kind. Yeah, yeah. Randy Chavez. When it's hot, eat a root beer popsicle. Shut off the AC and roll the windows down. Let that summer sun shine. Always stay humble and kind. And don't take for granted the love this life gives you. When you get where you're going, don't forget, turn back around and help the next one in line. Always stay humble and kind.
Yeah. Tom Litch, our music director, and our wonderful band, Randy Chavez, Evan Wendt, Bijou Barbosa, Larry Thompson, and Rob Lowe is back there somewhere. I can't see him. Thank you so much. Wonderful job. Thank you, thank you. Oh, what a joy it is. Doesn't it make you feel hopeful for the world to see those kids like graduating? That's what it makes me feel like. Wow, how wonderful. Hey, before I jump into my message today, I have two things that I want to let you know about. And one's an announcement and one's an invitation. The first one is that in the profession of spiritual leaders, as well as many other professions, it is considered a normal, regular practice to every number of years take a little extra time off called a sabbatical for the purpose of resting and rejuvenating and really deep spiritual work. And Reverend Josh and I both have in our contract the allowance from our Board of Trustees for that. There was this kind of weird thing that happened recently called a pandemic, and that kind of got in the way of both of us taking the time that we need to do that kind of rejuvenation. And I have been working with our staff leadership and our Board of Trustees to actually take my sabbatical this summer. And so I will be here for the rest of this month, but starting July 1 through August 9th, I will be away on sabbatical, and I'm looking forward to it, and I'm very grateful for it. I want to state very plainly and clearly, I am not sick. I'm not having surgery, no plastic surgery, no rehab is involved at all. I'm just going deep. I'm just going to take some time for really, really deep rest. And I'm very grateful to this church for the opportunity to have this so that I can come back and be an even better minister in service to Mile High Church. So thank you for your support. And I said the second thing is an invitation. I just want to have one more chance because it's coming up this Friday and Saturday to invite you to our Enneagram workshop. I'm so grateful that my brilliant mother, Linda Frazee, happens to be in town for the summer. And so I roped her in to being with us in this workshop. And so you're going to get an amazing expert and an opportunity to really learn about this beautiful work called the Enneagram. I know that many of us are in search of self-knowledge and self-awareness. And I find that the Enneagram is so helpful because there's this ego part of us, this personality part of us, this part of us that we present to the world and that we've developed and that we've grown. But you're going to hear me talking today about that sense of belonging really comes from that willingness to deepen into the essence of who we are and how that personality can get in the way of that essence. And so we're going to learn about the Enneagram from that standpoint of really rediscovering our authentic self. Friday night's an introductory session that you can come to and learn about what it's all about. It's just a brief 3-hour introductory session. And then Saturday is a more in-depth session where we're going to go through and hear from people who represent all of the numbers in the Enneagram to discover more about ourselves. You can buy either one or the other of the sessions or come to both of them. But I hope that you will consider being with us, and you can register at the events table today, or you can go online and register. So we're looking forward to that. And as I said, we're talking about being the authentic self. Today, my message is titled, Secrets of Belonging. I have some secrets to offer, though I suspect they won't be horrible, deep, dark secrets that any of you don't already know because you're pretty wise people. But I'd like to start out with our founder, Dr. Ernest Holmes. He says, I believe that everything that exists is an expression of God, which is what we believe in this teaching. And that is why we are here. There is an inner something in us that belongs to the universe. And we have to get rid of all that inhibits it. Every sense of rejection and guilt and insecurity and anxiety. The security I'm talking about is the kind that not only warms the heart and makes glad the mind, but also feeds the soul. We belong to God. There is that within us which will last forever. There is no other security. So it seems to me that just about every human being I've ever known yearns for belonging. Yearns for a sense of, I know where I belong. I know who I belong to and what serves me in being my authentic self. And it seems to me like this search for belonging is truly the core of some of the greatest searches of our lives, because we don't quite know how to dance with it when we feel the lack of it. And when we've got it, we can feel a little insecure about it. Is it going to go away, or can I keep it? And we struggle with that sense of connection and anchored belonging to the universe, to our God, to ourselves, and to the people that we share this life with. It can be very discombobulating. And I have a couple strange experiences that have informed me a little bit on this talk. I want to talk about Trader Joe's. I love the products that Trader Joe's sells. They have really great stuff, really interesting stuff. But the first time I went into a Trader Joe's store was in Pacific Grove, California, many years ago. And I went in to buy stuff, and I am compelled to get the hell out of Trader Joe's as fast as I can whenever I go in there. I don't know why. Is it them? Is it me? What is it? And no matter what they do about how they rearrange the store or how modern the store is, I can't take it. The last time I was there, I followed my husband around for as long as I could. And then when I couldn't anymore, I said, I'm going to the car. And I just bolted out of the store. And he had to finish the purchases. So when I hear a friend going to Trader Joe's, I'm like, will you pick this up for me? Because I just can't go in there. Conversely, the day I walked into Mile High Church, back in the late 70s, sat down, it feels to me like before they played a note or said a word, I'm home. I felt that feeling of that recognition, like, this is my place. These are my people. I belong here. Was it them? Is it me? How is it that those experiences come to be? Because I'm going to guess that I'm not the only one who's ever walked into a organization or a store or a group and felt completely compulsed to get out of there, nor am I the only one who ever walked into some environment and felt that warm familiarity. We have that experience often as human beings. And sometimes it's not where we hope it will be. We go into one place hoping we'll feel a sense of belonging, and we got to get right out and go into places where we're not so sure and suddenly feel at home. It can be very confusing and discombobulating. So I invite us as we begin this message today to really reflect on our sense of belonging. And have we felt it in different places, or the lack of it in different places? And I ask us, what's that about? Is that about me, or is that about them? Additionally, what I would suggest we consider is that most of the places where there is dis-ease and disruption in our culture and our world, probably at the core of it has to do with people who aren't feeling a sense of belonging. If they felt a sense of belonging, they might not reach out in anger towards each other. If they felt a sense of belonging, they might not feel so afraid to just walk on this beautiful planet. And so we have a belonging issue as a group of humans. We have belonging issues, and we need to deal with them in order to experience greater healing and well-being on this planet. And I'm inviting us right here today to consider what we might be able to do to heal our sense of belonging and to deepen it and to acknowledge that core desire. Now, to do that, the first thing I suggest is that we have to look individually at our own belonging origin. We have to be willing to see and acknowledge that we might have grown up in an environment where we had something about us that was unacceptable. Whether it was something we hid from people or something that others saw in us and told us was unacceptable, or maybe we were bullied because we looked different, spoke different, had something different about us than a lot of other people, or were judged. Maybe it's that our family, we were this way and everyone else in our family was that way, and we're thinking, am I adopted? I don't know. I mean, I don't feel like I belong in this family. How did I get here? And so we might have had that core sense of a lack of belonging even in our own family of origin, which is why many people talk about finding their family of choice, because they recognize that they just didn't have a sense of belonging with the people they came into this world with. And so there might be something there for us to take a look at. There is some evidence also that I find fascinating of generational psychology suggesting that we might be being influenced at an energetic level and even a genetic level by the people who came before us in our ancestry. And we know that people who have experienced some trauma and drama in their life, that trauma stays often in the energy and the consciousness of a family system until someone has the courage to stop it. Are we the people that no matter how it occurred, whether it's a generation after generation of disconnect and a lack of belonging and a sense that I'm not good enough and I'm not enough, are we the people who are going to perpetuate that belonging history, or are we the people who are going to take a stand and say, enough? And it starts with us looking beautifully, consciously at our belonging origin and acknowledging it. One of the most modern voices for this is the great author, speaker, teacher, researcher, Brené Brown. And she says, belonging is the innate human desire to be part of something larger than us. Because this yearning is so primal, we often try to acquire it by fitting in and by seeking approval, which are not only hollow substitutes for belonging, but often barriers to it. I bet there have been times when we've been tempted to say, I'll just pretend I'm a certain way so that I can feel a sense of belonging. But she's saying that will never work because it's a lie. It's not the truth, and we're out of integrity when we're doing that. And there's often nothing more painful than that lack of integrity. I'm pretending that I'm this way, but I'm really not. Because I don't trust that if I really was who I am authentically and lived that out in my life, that I could step forward and really have that sense of belonging. We see stories of it all over our culture and our world with our kids and our young adults and every age across the gamut, our elders. We yearn for belonging, and there's nothing more joyous, more godly, more true than that moment when we say, this is who I am, and I'm going to choose to belong. But it takes looking at that origin, and it takes that willingness to heal that wound. I call these belong wounds. A lot of our belong wounds have to do with some part of us that thought at one point maybe that being normal was more important than being authentic. I've shared before my favorite definition of normal. It's a setting on a dryer. In case no one's told your beautiful soul this truth, there's no such thing as normal. No such thing at all. If we were to look at our earth from the standpoint of way, way high in the sky, or I love stories of sci-fi stories about other worlds and Star Wars and Star Trek and all those sci-fi stories that postulate and theorize, what if we did it this way, and what if we did it that way, and what if a group of people thought this was normal? It's normal to have green skin, it's normal to have gigantic ears, it's normal to, whatever it might be. Normal is the setting on the dryer. It is not anything we can ever attain. Authenticity, however, is. The truth of our soul is something that we can attain. But to have it, you got to give up your woundology. You got to give up your stories about they didn't love me, they didn't accept me, because what we acknowledge is that that has happened to just about every human being on this planet to some degree or another. That is in our genetics as humans have struggled to find our way on this planet together in this diverse way that we exist. And that we can take that woundology and begin to let go and forgive and accept that other people may have had their own wounds that caused us to not be able to accept us. And that we can acknowledge that, and we don't have to live with it other than we can set ourselves free from it by forgiving, by letting go, by choosing to move on, by choosing to move forward and find our place in this beautiful world. And acknowledging that we do deserve to belong. We want to belong. Here's the thing I want to say about it. My bottom line today when it comes to belonging, we need it, we crave it, we've got to brave it. We need it, we crave it, we've got to brave it. And I say brave it because it's a brave, bold act to live as your authentic self. It's a brave, bold act to seek belonging and to cultivate it on this planet, where there are lots of voices who want to try to define for us what is normal, who's acceptable, who's not. Our authentic selves, in their desire to innocently express themselves in ways that empower and bring forth the goodness that we are, express the light that we are, express the love and the unique creativity that we are, can find places and people and tribes and groups to belong to. But it involves us letting go of our old stories. Because what I noticed about my old story is that when I was in the midst of it, I could walk into any group and someone would look at me wrong and I would say, oh, well, I don't belong here. They think I'm blah, blah, blah too. Unacceptable too. I could totally live in my story. No one would even have to say it, but I would say it to myself. I would talk myself into not belonging because of my story. But the more I let go of my story, the more I feel free of that story, the more I feel comfortable in my own beingness, then I don't make up so much about other people and their stories about me. I let myself be me. And that is called, I think, belonging integrity. When we give up our old stories and we step into the truth of who we are, and if we need to check something out with someone, we do so. But there are places and people that I can belong to and I can be accepted no matter who I am. In that beautiful expression of who I am that wants to give back and share my light, I know absolutely I would sign a guarantee today on paper with my own blood even that says, I'm sure there is some place on this planet, some group, some tribe, somewhere where the good that we seek to express in the world belongs. Each one of us. We may have to do some work to find it, but I know it's there. And our stories that say there's no one who, they're not true. They're lies we tell ourselves to further keep the woundedness alive. Whereas the story I can say is, I don't know where they are, but I know there's people who like to wear ginormous hats on Sunday, and I'm going to find them, or whatever it might be. I'm using very surface examples, but there are deeper, deeper truths afoot here where we can and should, I think, seek out and find that sense for ourselves of belonging. Recognize healing our wounds, moving forward, and then allow ourselves to belong to things based on the authenticity of who we are. This is important. Brené Brown goes on to say, because true belonging only happens when we present our authentic, imperfect selves to the world. Our sense of belonging can never be greater than our level of self-acceptance. Our sense of belonging can never be greater than our self-acceptance. What if our feeling a lack of belonging isn't so much about them as it is about the levels of our self-acceptance? We get to consider that. And even when we've considered that and we've healed a lot of that and we step forward, I just want to say full out, there are still risks. There are still vulnerabilities to choosing to belong. And that's why many of us isolate, because it just feels safer, doesn't it? There are risks. I don't know about you, but have any of you ever noticed who've come to this church for a while that the people are really nice, but every once in a while there is a curmudgeon around? There's somebody who isn't quite friendly or nice, having a bad day, maybe says something kind of stupid or crazy or is different than you expected them to be. I know sometimes when that has happened, because I'm so afraid of what that means, I will run even from the groups that I feel that authentic sense of belonging, because that discomfort makes me want to run. But true belonging, whether it's with a key relationship that you want to continue to foster or a group of people, requires that belonging be nurtured even when it's difficult. I found this meme recently that I love. When we avoid hard conversations, we're not keeping the peace, we're keeping the tension. That's from Peter Bromberg. We're keeping the tension. So true belonging in a good relationship, the best of friendships, requires challenging conversations when our feelings get hurt, or it didn't go the way we hoped it would go, or we're feeling judged, or we're feeling a lack of belonging. It requires us to really continue to foster connection, and that's not always easy. And yet, when we see it in action, it's amazing. I've been paying attention to a story of a man lately that has really touched my heart and helped me to see, especially in this political climate, the possibilities of not standing apart but standing together. And this is a picture of Daryl Davis. He's the beautiful black man on the left. And look, he's shaking the hands of a Ku Klux Klan wizard. Daryl Davis is a blues jazz musician who was playing in a bar, and one night he began talking to a fellow at the bar and discovered that fellow was a member of the Ku Klux Klan. They became friends, good friends, began to have dinner, have conversation, and eventually his friend, who was part of the Klan, left the Klan. He was the Grand Wizard, and he left the Klan, and he gave Daryl his robe as a symbol of his willingness to change and to be a different person. And this inspired Mr. Davis, who said he realized that he could possibly, through this conversation, create more and more opportunities to end racial division. As of this date, Mr. Davis has had over 200 Ku Klux Klan members surrender their robes to him. Yeah. He says that he began to chip away at their ideology just by having conversation. He says, because when two enemies are talking, they're not fighting. It's when the talking ceases that the ground becomes fertile for violence. If you spend 5 minutes with your worst enemy, it doesn't have to be about race. It could be about anything. You will find that you both have something in common. As you build upon those commonalities, you're forming a relationship that as you build that relationship, you find you're forming a friendship. That's what would happen. And I love what he says here. I didn't convert anybody. They saw the light and converted themselves. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful story. And he does his work now, reaching out, thinking his philosophy is, how can you hate me when you don't even know me? And I really invite us to consider that when it comes to belonging. As you think about the people right now that you judge in various groups, and maybe even hate, how can you hate them when you don't even know them? And how is it that we benefit ourselves by continuing to behave this way in any way, shape, or form? So belonging also means that we create belonging support by standing for others, like Mr. Daryl Davis did. We become willing in our personal relationships and with the broad groups of people who we are tempted to hate, whom we don't even know, by standing for belonging and making the ties that can help us feel connected be born out of friendship and connection and allowance. I'm grateful for our graduates who are graduating tonight, and I get to be the dean of our ministerial school, and so I've gotten to be with our 5 graduates. And one of our graduates is Christine Renee Monks, and she has been a member of our community for a long time. She's a practitioner in our community. She is a board member, just completing her 3-year term, and she's graduating from ministerial school tonight and going to be starting her own ministry. She also has been serving our Centers for Spiritual Living on our diversity and equity teams and fostering these important conversations about diversity all over our planet. And she spoke in a class I was teaching a while back, and she really taught me more about a concept that I've heard about that I think is so important. It's the concept of othering. It's the concept of othering people and creating separation between us and other groups of people by othering them, that they are other than us, and really working hard in our minds and hearts to separate ourselves because they do this and I don't do that. And othering is an activity that's habitual in our minds and hearts. And she brought forth the beautiful voice of Sean Ginwright, an author who talks about a session he was in teaching students about othering. And he says he explained to the group this process of othering, which is assigning negative attributes to groups unlike your own, which is very different. That Mr. Davis said, I knew that even though those groups were different than me, we had something in common. We shared something in common. And it allowed him to stop othering those members of the clan to begin to have relevant conversations. And then the practice of belonging, Mr. Ginwright says, is cultivating the capacity to see the humanity in groups unlike our own. Seeing that they have the human desires to belong just like we do. And its consequences for our collective effort for social change. I described that our real work as leaders, if we really want to create a healing-centered world, is to recognize how the process of othering leads to separation and ultimately dehumanization. I explained that we all need to find some way to embrace the humanity among those groups that we find most unlike us. That's what we do. Through our own experience in woundology, we other ourselves. And then we get about othering other people. And then we have a crisis of belonging. And I say that this whole process gets reversed when we stop othering ourselves and choose to belong to ourselves. Choose to belong to God. Choose to belong to the authentic, soulful energy of ourselves. And then choose to bring ourselves with integrity out into the world to belong, and then choose consciously to stop othering other people and allow them to belong where they belong. I am a committed member of Mile High Church, and I am a highly passionate science of mind and spirit minister, but I love it that people belong to whatever faith tradition they resonate with. And I want people to feel that belonging. I have places and things that I belong to passionately, and I want other people to feel that they have places where they belong and they resonate, because I recognize that as we all have that sense of belonging, even if I don't agree with where they belong, what if that is what brings forth the kingdom of heaven on earth? Not that we're all the same, all going in the same direction, other than love and other than belonging. And everyone having a place to be. This, to me, is the secret of belonging. And I invite us to join together in prayer now. I'm going to read a poem as we begin our prayer to contemplate, a prayer called Belonging by Rosemary Watola Tromer. And I invite our practitioners and ministers to stand with me in prayer as we take a stand together in the transformation of this planet and of each heart into belonging. Rosemary says, and if it's true we are alone together, the way blades of grass are alone but exist as a field. Sometimes I feel it, the green fuse that ignites us, the wild thrum that unites us, an inner hum that reminds us of our shared humanity. Just as 35 trillion red blood cells join in one body to become one blood, just as 136,000 notes make up one symphony, alone as we are, our small voices weave into the one big conversation. Our actions are essential to the one infinite story of what it is to be alive. When we feel alone, we belong to the grand communion of those who sometimes feel alone. We are the dust that hopes, a rising of dust, a thrill of dust, the dust that dances in the light with all other dust, the dust that makes the world. And so we choose today to accept that divine sense of belonging, to recognize the belonging that we have to this universe, each one of us, each soul, a unique expression of divine energy, perfect in its presence. And we honor these divine ways that we choose to express our greater good, our creativity, our aliveness, our wholeness, our love, our joy, our peace, our abundance, our wellness in this world. We choose to lean into it. And I accept and affirm in this standing together in this way that each one of us finds, expresses, and makes way for greater belonging for ourselves and all others in these coming days. That we allow ourselves to be made whole by releasing our stories of not belonging, letting them go, forgiving, allowing Spirit to fill that space with an awareness that many, many times what felt like rejection was redirection, an invitation into a greater truth of who we are. And we celebrate that this day and allow that to be our guide. In love and gratitude, I claim this is the truth of us now, and I let it be the truth as we let go, let God, and simply let it be so. And so it is. Amen.
Hold the door, say please, say thank you. Don't steal and don't cheat and don't lie. I know you've got mountains to climb, but always stay humble and kind. When the dreams you're dreaming come to you, when the work you put in is realized, let yourself feel the pride, but always stay humble and kind.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Evan. Beautiful. We celebrate our opportunity to express our love and gratitude and our sense of abundance for this community through tithes and offerings. The baskets will be passed. The information about how to text to tithe is up on the screen. There's a way to do it out in the lobby with Apple Pay and all sorts of pays. And so we hope you will consider circulating your good this day to our beautiful community. And as we do this together, please let us say our affirmation together. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I circulate. And so it is.
What if it all depended on me to change the world, change the world? What if my only responsibility was to change the world, change the world? Let me be the one to start a revolution. Let me sing my song to the people of the world. It all begins with one, the power of one, joining with hundreds and millions of people, believing it's one, power of one. Don't hang around, stand up or sit down, just believe we can change the world together. We can change the world together. change the world, change the world. Let me be the one to start a revolution. Let me sing my song to the people of the world, to the children of the world. And please don't close your eyes. Please don't turn away. Let your voices rise and put your love on display. 'Cause we can make a difference now. Don't you believe that we can make a difference now? It all begins with one. It all begins with one. It all begins with one. It all begins with one.
Well, thank you. Each one of you, you are the best.
Yeah.
The hottest
Yeah.
band in church history. Right.
Awesome. Awesome. Awesome.
And I want to welcome those of you who are perhaps with us for the first time. It's always like this. It's wonderful. And I'll be out in the lobby if you have any questions about Mile High. And also our wonderful practitioners are coming down. They'll be right in front. So if Para's calling to you, make sure you stand in front of one of them. You won't regret it.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you very much. And we want to acknowledge two of our classes that completed recently. We have about a 27-week class called Advanced Consciousness Studies. We had 20-some people graduate from that class. If any of them are here, I'd like to invite them to stand. Advanced Consciousness Studies graduates, I know some of you are here. Yeah, welcome, thank you. Wonderful. They did brilliant, deep spiritual work. A number of them are going on to Practitioner 2 class to now train to become a practitioner prayer partner like you see down here, where you can come forward today and pray, like Dr. Patty said, for a deeper sense of belonging. And I want to acknowledge that 5 of those folks are becoming practitioners, and if any of them are in the room, you're right down front. Barbara, let's stand up. 5 of our practitioners that are joined. Yes, Practitioner 2 graduates. Thank you very much. And our ministerial class graduates, I think a number of them are here from all over the world, from Los Angeles and the East Coast and here in Lakewood. Let's have our ministerial graduates, please stand. Yeah. Congratulations. We're celebrating them tonight at 5 o'clock right in this room. You can be here. It's going to be very inspirational and powerful, so I hope you'll join us. And there's an ice cream social apparently out on the plaza today. I don't think any of these people like ice cream, though, do you? I don't. Okay. Maybe they'll cancel it. Yeah, I don't know. But it's going to be great. If you want ice cream, it'll cool you off. It'll be a wonderful time to socialize and hang out. And graduation is happening, and we have one other thing up there. We have tonight's graduation. Yes, thank you. Our choir, you can buy tickets through Wednesday, and then we lose our block of seats. So if you want to sit with your Mile High community, buy your tickets before Wednesday. Our choir will sing the national anthem at that game, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Yay, the choir. All right. Please stand now for the benediction and the peace song. Please repeat after me. Something wonderful is happening through me right now. It is this thing called life. I belong to life. Life belongs to me. I belong. Thank you, life. And so it is.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as our power, family all are we. Let us walk with each other.